We guarantee you that this video isn't going to suck or your money back.
Hey, welcome back to Blunt Force Business. I'm Brian LaFauci.
And I'm Patrick Marino.
And today we are going to talk to you about guarantees.
Yep.
Like Patrick said, we guarantee this won't suck.
Yeah, and we're giving you your money back if you think it sucks.
For free. Today we have the longest Blunt Force facts. You know, we always come to you with 3 Blunt Force facts to start off our videos and to kind of key up the key points that we want you to get. And we guarantee that we're going to fuck those up today because they are the longest Blunt Force facts that we've ever had. But they're fitting.
I think people will appreciate them.
Yeah. So I say we jump right in.
We'll step right into Blunt Force fact number 1.
All right. So Blunt Force fact.
What are we saying? Like why you need to have guarantees?
Yeah.
Why we're guaranteeing this podcast.
Yeah. Your takeaway for today is this: as you're looking at your product and service, and you're thinking about all the little components that make it special. You know, we're doing a series on offer and a special offer right now that kind of led to this podcast. A guarantee is a key component to your product or service. It makes people feel comfortable. We're going to talk a lot today about how it ties into purchase rates and all things like that. So as we dig into that, your Blunt Force fact for today, Blunt Force fact number 1, is that you can get a hell of a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but you should take the butcher's word for it instead. How was that?
That's pretty good.
Very good. Very long.
Good. It's better than Tommy Boy.
It was better than Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean better than Tommy Boy? I made that up just now. For those of you that have seen the best movie of all time.
They didn't make it up.
What?
I'm sure they didn't.
Well, they had a writer who wrote it for them, and then we stole it and used it as a Blunt Force fact because it's very appropriate for what we're talking about.
It is because people don't have time to do the work.
You know what I relate this a lot to, and I think what you have to remember is our customers and our clients are going to take the easiest route to feel like that, to believe us and to feel like we have provided them with the right solution. You know, and I think this a lot when I'm listening to books and podcasts all the time. I feel this way. Because I'll listen to something, and we see this in the media today too, where you'll see such a disparity in what you hear, right, on maybe different media channels. And then I'll be listening to a book, and I'll be like, this is some really great information. I'll say this all the time. I'll talk to my wife about it. I wish I had the time in my life that everything that this person is referencing, I could go back and cross-check. Because I want to know, all right, I'm gonna reiterate what I'm hearing you say right now. And I may dictate some of my life choices on what I'm hearing you say right now. But guess what? I don't have the time.
Right.
I don't have the time to look at the research that you just referenced to say if that study was done effectively or right. And neither do our customers.
Right.
So the reality of the situation is our customers don't have the time to go out and verify. Now, we're operating from a place of morality, we hope, that you are and we are. But we want to provide that guarantee to them. And so what's the best way to do it is that we got to get that front and center in front of them. We have to let them know that the thing that you are about to purchase, it's one of the best things out there, and here's why. And we do that through a
guarantee.
A specific guarantee, right?
I
mean, because we're going to talk about different types of guarantees.
Yep.
But we do that through a quality guarantee.
Okay.
You know, we guarantee the quality of our service, we guarantee the quality of our product, and then from there, they get that feeling of, okay, all right. At least I know that when they hear those words, they automatically get the feeling that I know that they're going to stand by this.
Right.
And they're going to stand by the product, or they're going to stand by the service. And so
which is going to lead into Blunt Force facts too, as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that gives me this feeling that I'm comfortable knowing that more than likely, if I'm not happy with it, that there's going to be something that comes back my way.
Right. And I'm also not going to do the work to figure out. I don't have time. Right. Yeah. So I'm just going to take your word for it. You say it's guaranteed, then it's good.
Yeah.
Like, what do I know?
So how is the business owner, how do you do that? How do you get that out there? So this is something that, very similar to when we talk about the why, that we want to get front and center with our customers. And so it's, we do that through a quality guarantee. Okay.
Right.
You know, we guarantee the quality of our service, we guarantee the quality of our product, and then from there, they get that feeling of, okay, all right. I know that they're going to stand by this. Right. And so that gives me this feeling that I'm comfortable knowing that more than likely, if I'm not happy with it, that there's going to be something that comes back my way.
Right.
customers and our clients, and also our employees. We want our employees to understand what our guarantee is, because the worst thing that can happen is somebody says to one of our employees, you have a satisfaction guarantee in this product, and they look dumbfounded and don't know what that means or don't know what the policy on that is, right? So understand, when we're offering guarantees, the back-end operational end of that is also to have a system set up for how you're going to manage that. But first and foremost, we want to get it front and center. So guarantees should be on your website. They should be on your product. Like if you're shipping stuff and you're going to box it up, that's somewhere in either the receipt you put in there or on the packaging, whatever it is. That guarantee needs to be front and center. And at the time of purchase is where it is most important. So how do people make purchases? They make purchases online, maybe through your cart, right? And that needs to be a nice little star at the bottom that says, guaranteed.
It's not a star.
You can picture it. What is it?
It's a thingy.
It's like a sun. Right?
Like
Isn't it a sun?
It's like an oblong sun.
Yep.
It's like all jaggedy.
Yep, a jaggedy sun.
Yeah. So
but everybody knows.
Guaranteed, 100% satisfaction.
Absolutely. And
quality guarantee, money back guarantee.
And there's stats on that. There are absolute stats on that. And
we'll talk about those at some point.
We will get into it. But bottom line, it demonstrates your confidence in your product and leads your customer to have confidence to make the purchase.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Want to go into blunt force?
It's going to bleed right. You just basically talked about blunt force fact.
Well, it was a good lead in. So,
what is blunt force fact number 2?
Blunt force fact number 2 is that safety is sexy for people. People like it. They are attracted to it. They want to feel safety in their purchase, and it's a great way to grab them. And you grab that safety through the guarantees.
And what you're doing is you're taking away some of the risk. Like if I'm going to pay for something, now, if I don't like that, then I've lost that money and I have something I don't like. But by giving them the guarantee, you're now taking that part of that. Like, what's the obstacle, right? The obstacle is I'm spending money on something I don't want. I'm not going to like how it tastes. I'm not going to like how it feels. I'm not going to like how it works, right? So that's an obstacle to me making a purchase. But now you add the guarantee. Now you've removed that obstacle. And part of any part of a good sales process is solving pain points, removing obstacles to the sell. Right? And so this is an opportunity to do that. It's an opportunity to say, well, look, if you don't like it, you get your money back, or we'll replace it, or if it breaks, we'll replace it. Whatever it is. But that's an opportunity to take that really strong barrier of the sale out of the equation.
Right. And we've been talking a lot about product at this point, and I think I want to kind of pivot it a little bit, because this is an interesting topic from the service standpoint, because service delivery is a subjective world we live in.
I think if it's subjective, you're doing it wrong.
Well, let's think about it this way.
All my services are analytics-based, baby.
I agree.
Results, it's one of our blunt force facts.
I agree. I'm not discounting that. But I think from the consumer standpoint, right, think about when you buy a product, the tangible nature of the product is easy to quantify.
Right.
I can hold it. I can touch it. I can see it. Like I like
tastes
how,
good.
I like how this pen writes.
Right.
Whatever. Okay. Whatever it might be. But when you approach somebody with a service, the end deliverable of that service, yes. Are we going to give them analytics? Right. But those analytics come post-purchase.
Right.
So at the moment of purchase, there's a ton of subjectivity, and we can outline that really well through contracts, and that this is what we do. We do it. We do a nice job of displaying what the end deliverables will be. But most time, people who purchase a service are doing so with an expectation of something that will not come until a month down the road.
Right.
Even some, take pest control, right? So I'm gonna hire a pest control service. I want to get rid of the carpenter ants in my house.
Right.
Well, that's great. So now I'm going to pay them, and then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to hopefully see less and less, and then hopefully they don't come back. But that deliverable is like, it's down the road.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not in my face right now. I'm getting it. I can see it. It's not there. So it's almost always tougher to get someone to make that service purchase than it is to make a product purchase, I feel, because they have that uncertainty.
Right.
So,
well, they might even look at it from like an employment perspective. Like usually you don't pay, if you're a small business owner, you're working, especially a business to business, you're selling them a service. You pay the employee at the end of the month, not at the beginning of the month.
Right.
Right. You pay them at the end of the month. Here's the work I did. Here are the hours that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the amount per hour,
Mm-hmm.
and here's my pay sheet, and I get a check weeks later for the week that I did before.
Yeah. Our new
But what you're
intern,
trying to do is-
intern Caroline, who's here for her first day watching our podcast, it will get paid next week,
Yeah, exactly.
not this week.
Yeah. So
Because what if she's horrible?
right, exactly. We're not. There's money.
No, we have to,
pay is not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's nothing.
But in this case, what we're doing is we're
Shannon's
saying
shaking her head. At us. She's not pleased with my joke at all.
we're selling our service.
Yeah.
Right, and they're paying us ahead of the service, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's always
Yeah.
this uncertainty, and then what we're trying to do is trying to overcome that gap by saying, "Hey, listen,
Right.
if this isn't good, we are going to offer you your money back, or a percentage back, or credit to a different service." We want to put that front and center. And too often times people sell products and people sell service especially without the client knowing what happens if I'm unhappy.
Right.
What do you do? So I try to outline that we're in a very service-based industry, obviously,
Right.
here. And yeah, so they're deliverables, so they're tangibles. Sure, they buy a video package from us. Here it is. But
Right.
they want to know what's at the end of that.
Yeah.
Like, what am I, and if it's no good,
No refunds.
nothing.
That's what's the end of that.
That's it.
No refunds ever.
No refunds on
Your
this,
money is risk.
on this free podcast.
Yeah, you understand.
Yeah.
You signed this. You understand that by watching our podcast and by subscribing to our services, that you are risking.
You are
losing
risking
your time
and
your
money.
and your effort. It's all going to be
You
gone.
should go the opposite
exactly.
route of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This
you
is
take on that
yes.
risk.
We only
you,
want
you
risk.
recognize that
As an entrepreneur,
that's a risk, and you might be losing your money.
As an entrepreneur, you are not risk averse, so jump right in. Let's take another risk.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. There's stats on this
Yeah, for sure.
as well.
We
And
saw a couple of them. I mean, I know one of the ones we saw, and accuracy not guaranteed, was that consumers were like 83% more likely to buy if there was a guarantee.
Yep. If they're on the fence and they know that there's a chance if they don't like it, they're going to get part or all their money back, they're going to pull the trigger.
Right.
And that's what we want. The end goal is we want our customers to pull the trigger and engage with us and buy the product. Because more than likely, if they're interested in it to the point where they are thinking about buying it, we're more than likely going to deliver on it, and it's going to be
And there's a psychological perspective as well of, if we're guaranteeing it, we must really believe in it ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right? Because otherwise, why would we go through the process of getting the money back and giving it back to you and trying to come up with trying to get it back to you if we didn't believe in it in the first place?
Yeah.
Right. So and that makes you feel better. It's like, okay, well they believe in it, so it must be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that display, that demonstrated confidence like we talked about in the first blunt force fact of we believe in it and we're willing to back it.
Right.
We'll just show back it, which is great. So safety's sexy. Put it out there. Let people see it. They'll like it. They'll jump all over it. Last blunt force fact for today, blunt force fact number 3 in our guarantees is that it is a guarantee that people are lazy. Blunt force fact number 3, your customers are lazy. Right. That's the reality. And as it's sad as it is to say, people don't offer guarantees. Why? Out of fear. I can't afford to.
That's for sure. Yeah. And this is a math problem. And if you do the math just based on the percentage we just gave you, whether that's guaranteed to be accurate or not, if you're increasing sales by this,
Yep.
and a few people return the product and you have to deal with it,
Yeah.
then it was totally worth it to give that. It's totally worth the effort to have these couple of people who might even be gaming the system, who might even be returning something that I already used. I already used it. I wore that shirt. I wore that dress out, and I'm returning it now.
Right.
Or whatever it is. I kept the price tag on it.
Yeah.
And I'm returning it now. Right. So maybe people will take advantage
The
of it.
prom dress that gets the
Whatever.
tag
They can
tucked
be people.
in the back.
People are going to take advantage of your return, of
Yes.
your goodwill.
Yes.
But the benefit of the guarantee, with the increased sales, the increased trust that you give people, is going to outweigh this.
Absolutely.
But we're not even really looking at it that way. We're looking at it that some of the people who are unhappy just aren't going to return it.
No, they won't. And they'll want to. And I am a culprit of this. I'm the worst culprit of this. I do this all the time. So I have stuff in my garage that I purchased for a vehicle, like parts. A part came in. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, or I ordered the wrong part.
Right.
I probably have about $1,000 of wrong part orders sitting in my garage over the course of 5 years that all I had to do was drive them to the store, and they're still in and I look at them every day, And I shake my head. I'm like, I'm that lazy.
Yeah, I have a pile.
I'm that lazy that I like that I couldn't have even. And now it's lapsed, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right? It's 2 years. They're not taking it back, and maybe they would, but because all those companies did have a guarantee. I know they did. Because I have been better about it before in the past. So why didn't I return the rotors that were? Well, because they're heavy,
Right.
And I gotta rebox the rotors and then lug them to the thing. And I was like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Maybe I'll need it later, or maybe And we had a great on our call last week on our business growth call. We had a great example for one of our participants on the call. Right, it was fantastic. He talked
similar about the mattress.
The mattress.
Try and buy a mattress, right?
Yeah.
Try before you buy, right? You
Yep.
get the mattress, they give it to
free,
you. But then,
free trial period for 30 days.
and try and ship that thing back. Try and figure out how you're going to do it. How you going to get it in your car? Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You're just stuck with it.
Yep, it's easy to send a mattress back. It's
I think
really
there's
easy. Take it to the store.
there's other things you can do as well. As you can
Put
make
it in the
it,
mailbox.
Yeah, you can also make the return difficult, right? You can say like, look, I mean, this is something again, like this is always going to be a problem of how much are we going to make versus how much are we going to lose, and you make a determination if the amount we make is going to be so much more than the amount we're going to lose, then it's worth doing.
Right.
But sometimes that amount losing creeps up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Sometimes it gets closer to that margin of how much more we're going to make versus how much we're going to lose in cost of time and all that, right? So we have to make that decision. So maybe we make it difficult to return. Like, maybe we make it difficult.
This also helps you with protecting abuse.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So, usually I had this happen with a product I purchased, and I didn't like it when it came in, and they guarantee it. So they said, okay, no problem. Go, if you don't want to return it, you just click here. So I clicked there, and it put together this little form I had to fill out, and it said, tell us why, and then we'll get back with you.
Right.
And in there was, send us the picture of what is defective or you don't like.
Right.
So they made me just take a picture, and I did all this.
Yep.
But it was that extra step. It was so if that stuff.
And it removes the people who might not really super be unhappy. They might just be a little bit unhappy, but they're not. Or it removes the lazy people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I had a legitimate issue with this, and they were great. And they sent me a thing, and they said, and literally within, I think 3 hours, they.
You know what's the worst fucking thing to get out of?
No
is
idea.
a gym membership.
Try and
get out of a gym membership.
I used to work at Wow
It's like
Fitness.
you got to fill out this thing, and then you have to have a meeting. With the manager.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to leave?
Try to get out of Anytime Fitness because they're anywhere, and they say if you move somewhere within, so if you sign up a 2-year membership, right? And then you say, well, I'm moving, I want to go. They're like, all right, send us the new address with a name of your, like a bill to the new address. And then they do this circumference and say, sorry, there's a Anytime Fitness within 10 miles circumference. Do you know what a 10-mile circumference in a drive?
Especially if you're in certain areas.
Yeah.
So you're in certain areas, 10 miles is a lot of time.
I think Seekonk might be a 10-mile circumference from Situate.
Right.
There's a chance. If it's not, it's just only, it was an hour and a half for me today with traffic. Like, they make it very difficult.
Gotta try and get out of a gym membership.
Yeah.
Oh, my
very
God.
difficult.
The amount of months I've paid for gym memberships that I don't use.
Yes.
And it's not because I'm lazy not going to the gym. It's because
Maybe it is.
I've made the actual decision not to go to that gym.
Right.
Maybe I've joined another gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was not in a 2-year commitment.
Right.
But fucking try and get out of that.
But they do that,
Email them, okay, fill out this form, make it. Have you spoken to the manager yet? No,
yeah.
Just freaking get me out of it.
I was nervous.
I want to cancel.
I was nervous about that today. On the way in, on my hour and a half long ride in, which normally takes 30 minutes, I had a life insurance policy that I wanted to cancel because I got a new one at a better rate. And I'm calling, and they don't let you do it online. So you can't do it. They make you call. And I was so geared up for, this is going to be an exercise in my patience. And it wasn't. I was very happy. It was.
Right.
They made the process easy. I know we've gone off track a little bit, but
I don't think you have to be.
We're
not saying be a freaking asshole.
Right.
We're not saying make this so difficult that people can't return it.
Make it difficult.
What we're
that
saying
people don't
is
abuse
that
the system.
yeah, we're saying that in protecting yourself,
yes,
it removes the lazy people. Right.
Yes.
The lazy people are not going to jump through the. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're mitigating some of those losses you're going to have from returned stuff that people don't want.
Absolutely.
And you're also then fewer people will return because they're just lazy.
Yep.
Right? You are taking advantage of some of that.
Yeah. So in reviewing the blunt force facts here for your benefit, guarantees are crucial. I'm not going to reread the first one all over again. You get it. The bottom line is people will trust you and they'll trust in your guarantees. So put it out there because they want to know that this is a good product. So
or
if
they don't want to do the work. Both.
Right.
They want to know it's a good product, but they don't want to. They don't have the ability probably to do the work. It's not just that they might not be qualified.
Right. And it takes time.
If you're buying Callahan brake pads, you don't know anything about brake pads, right? You just the guarantee though.
That's a great point. Some people don't have knowledge, and they need you to assure them. That
you're doing that for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2, safety sexy. Reduce the risk for your clients, and they're more willing to
part with their money,
punch the ticket, and purchase. And the last blunt force fact is that it's a guarantee that your people are lazy. So use those 3 to your benefit. Take advantage of guarantees, and watch your sales go up. Good stuff. I'm Brian LaFauci.
Patrick Marino.
Until next time.
Thank you.